radio, he's in newspapers. This guy speaks all over the United States. His story is told in different countries and different languages. I've been out of town doing demos while he tells his story. And trust me, from out of town, they stand in line to get a picture with him, to talk to him. But he lives here, so everybody kind of gets used to him a little bit, and you understand what Mr. Hollywood we have here. People call him Hollywood Bill, they call him Cowboy Bill. You guys put your hands together for Mr. Bill Howard! Bill Powers.
Thank you. Didn't Michael do a fabulous presentation?
Oh, thank you, Bill.
How about a round of applause for Michael?
I'm going to sit beside you.
We're going to get set up here in just a second. But you know, most men do handshakes, right? Not us. We do a head shake. And I did it one too often.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, I'm in books, radio, television. I really look good on radio. I was watching a YouTube video a few months ago, and there I was speaking in Japanese. I had no idea what I was saying. I sure look good. I brought a couple books that I'm in, and to share with you. One is called, can you see that?
Yes, sir.
Killing
Cancer.
Cancer, Not People. This is stories about people with cancer. I didn't write the book. The person that wrote the book is Robert Wright. A little pun there.
Robert Wright.
Guys, you catch that? All right, it's getting late.
Right wrote it.
But I'm in this book. I'm the one with the cancer. And I'm going to share how I got into this book and how I got out of this book. The other one I'm going to save for last. My story, decide.
Yeah, man. Yeah, over there. That's good.
My story started, we're going back in time to November the 30th, 2008. That was a very clear day. The butterflies were floating. That's the day I went to the doctor. I was having difficulty swallowing, and I went to the doctor and they did a biopsy. 20 minutes later, the doctor came back and said, Bill, I have bad news and bad news. First bad news is you have stage 4 throat cancer. Second bad news is we can't help you, it's already spread into your lymph nodes. I should have never went to the doctor. There's my diagnosis right there, stage 4, base of tongue. I wasn't sick, I just couldn't swallow. I go to the doctor, I'm gonna find out I'm gonna die in 3 months. We don't do anything. Stay away from doctors. Not serious about that, you know, but after I got over the shock, I did what everybody else does that has chemo is what?
Radiation.
I mean, cancer, chemo and radiation. This is my chemo list. Most people get 1 or 2 types of chemos. Not me, they gave me how many types? 5 different types. This chemo don't work, give them another one. This chemo don't work, give them another one. That's when I found out they call it medical practice. The last chemo, 5FU. Literally threw up 48 hours straight, nonstop. And I had nothing to throw up because you know people that undergo chemo because of side effects. Not hair loss, already had that. But I had canker sores and millions of canker sores in my throat, and I couldn't swallow or eat real well. And for dessert, if you go back over 5 months, different types of chemos. And then this is what chemo and radiation will do for you. Because besides the chemos, the 5 types of chemos for 5 months, I had 32 days of radiation. That's me on my deathbed in April 2009. Doctor said there's nothing else we can do for you. we're gonna bring you a nice hospice nurse in. And she was. It was time to check out, be with the Lord. She would come in every Monday, hospice care, do the vitals. She had a little laptop computer with her. Asked her if I could punch the numbers in to watch myself die. She didn't think that was very funny. So I called her Nurse Ratchet.
Yeah, you did.
There she is from that movie, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. So here I am, getting ready to check out, get my affairs in order, and all of a sudden I got a call that changed my life. Somebody invited you here tonight to change your life. That call came from Michael's father-in-law, Mr. Ed Johnson.
Yes.
He was researching natural ways for healing, and he came across something, and he said, Bill, I have an answer to your problem. And when you're dying, you're looking for what? Hope. I was so excited. I said, what is that, Mr. Ed? And he says, water from Japan. I can barely walk, can't drink water, have a water port, feeding tube, hope diminished. He says, no, we're gonna do a demo. The very first demo in San Antonio, Texas was April the 18th of 2009. And there I am sitting on the front row. Well, before we do that, look at the guy in the back row, the yellow shirt, Bluetooth in his ear. That's my friend Saul, who drove me to the demo. I couldn't drive. I'm sitting there on the front row not looking very happy. I guess when you're getting ready to check out, even though I was ready to go meet the Lord, I wasn't ready to leave planet Earth. So I'm not very happy, but look at Mr. Ed. He's happy.
He's happy.
Because he knows what's coming. See, I don't. This is my first experience at a demo. So it was the very first demo, but the demo you saw tonight just blows that one out of the water, literally.
Thank you, Bill.
And I just really appreciate Michael so much. But I saw the demo like you did. I saw hope. Two things at that demo caught my attention. One was Dr. Otto Warburg, who won what? Two Nobel Prizes for discovering the cause of cancer. And the main thing he said is that cancer cannot live in a what? Alkaline environment, and if you give it oxygen. So that gave me hope. The other one was the book, if you recall, Dr. Shinya, who invented the colonoscopy procedure. And on chapter 1, page 1 in the book, he says what? You remember what Michael said? None of his patients ever had to face cancer again. He says it twice. And how many procedures has he done? 350,000. I was thinking the other day, that's a lot of butts. So I bought the machine on hope. I had no idea it was gonna work. It arrived. And remember Michael was talking about the different waters, the 2.5, the 3.5, the 4.5, the J5. I said that top button's gotta be better than the bottom button.
Right.
So I pushed that top button, swung the hose around, put it in the mouth. Waited for the miracle to happen. Nothing happened, because I hadn't had water in there in weeks. But I stayed with it because I had hope. 48 hours later, every canker, sore, and blister in my mouth was gone.
Wow, wow.
Nurse Ratchet is freaking out.
Yes, he is.
She says, I have never seen anything like this in my life. Can I try some of that water? She always came in on what day? Monday. She calls me on Wednesday. And she's never called me before. And all she said is, Bill, I'm gonna come by and see you on Friday. And I'm thinking, oh boy, something bad in that water. Friday she comes and rings the doorbell. I walk now, I open the door, and there's Nurse Ratchet with her credit card reading. She says, Bill, before you die,
Oh, man.
I need that machine. She said, I've had fibromyalgia for 11 years. and the first time I am pain-free, and I want that machine. And I said, "You're not get that machine." We had an argument. She said, "How do I get one?" I said, "I don't know. Call Mr. Ed." So we called Mr. Ed. Mr. Ed said, "When you got your machine, it came with an ID number, you know, like a social security number on it. Fill out the paperwork, put that number there as your reference number, and fax it in." And 10 days later, in my mailbox, I got a $285 thank you check.
Wow.
Wow.
For doing what?
Yes.
Then my friend Saul with a pudgy gut and Bluetooth, which is still there today, bought the second one. Another one, 285. That was a godsend because I'm deeply in debt. I am $50,000 in debt. I have living off credit cards. I had 5 MasterCards, 5 Visas. I didn't want to discriminate. So I'm deeply in debt. That 285 and 285 was a godsend.
Thank you, Jesus.
Then my friend John bought the third one. The company doubled referral to 570. So 3 referrals, 1,140. 3 referrals.
Wow.
3,000 in my first month on referrals. Never sold the machine, just referred. But the best news of all, well, maybe we should just go to the next slide here for just a second. Go to the next one. That's me 16 weeks later after drinking
Wow.
water. My deathbed in 16
Wow.
weeks. But the best news of all came on let's go back to that date. On December the 23rd of 2009, they did 3 biopsies. And every one of them came back cancer-free, cancer-free. If you scroll up to the top of the slide, can you do that? They called me with results on December the 30th of 2009. And I usually don't tell this part of the story, but since it's this time of the year, almost December again, I asked the Lord, I wanted my results from the biopsy. It was done on the 23rd, before the end of the year. I asked the Lord to give me that results. Never got a phone call, nothing. The 30th, New Year's Eve, right, December, 5 o'clock, get a phone call from my nurse, my doctor. Gave over the phone and gave me those results. I was thinking, Lord, cut it pretty close. He came back and said, well, you said before the first of the year. Same time I had cancer. Well, let's go with here. This is, next slide. That's me, 5 years from my deathbed. And we have a collage of the photos, I believe, in the next one. Look at the transformation. Isn't that amazing? It's awesome. And I want to make it absolutely clear, because a lot of times people will say water heals. The water did not heal my body. What the water did was got my immune system back in balance. And God is the one that healed me.
Yes,
Water
amen.
was just to get my immune system back in balance.
Amen.
And if you go to the next slide, these are my 7 steps to cancer victory. I have a copy of my story that I'll give each and every one of you complimentary from me. December, next month, right? It'll be 9 years
Wow.
cancer-free.
Praise God.
These steps to cancer victory are in my story that I'm going to hand you. I don't want to focus on the 7 because of the time, but I want to focus on 1 and 5. You have to have, in any illness, financial, spiritual, you have to have the will to change, the will to live.
Yeah.
And through it, will, prayer, through God can heal anything.
Amen.
And I'm proof of it. I've been here 9 years now.
Yes, amen.
God's given me an extra 9 years. If he didn't give me that extra 9 years, I would never had a chance to meet you. Go to the next slide. The same time I had cancer, there's another man that had cancer named Steve Jobs. If you have an iPhone, you know who he is. His technology made him what? Rich. My technology made me well. We both had chemo and radiation. The only thing I added was the alkalized water to my body to get my immune system back in balance. And the final result, Steve Jobs passed away October the 5th, 2011 at age 56. Here at this slide, I'm 64, cancer-free. Now I'm 73 in January.
Awesome.
So I tell people the water works every single time if you work the water.
Yes.
So I'll give you a copy of my story to take with you. This is a book that you don't want to be in, but you do want to have this book in your library as a reference guide. It's very important. 2 reasons. There are about 200 natural recommendations in here for treating cancer besides chemo and radiation. Robert Wright says, though, if you had to pick one, you would pick kangen water. And he devotes an entire chapter, chapter 6, to kangen water. That's pretty powerful in this book. Plus my stories in here. It's a little self-explanatory. The book you do want to be in. I wrote this book.
The book, Bill?
It's a great book. It didn't take me long to write it. After Michael did his presentation, it's starting to come in. What?
Tricky.
No, that's some of you still think it's blank. And wrapping it up with my cancer story, it should start to come in perfect, living color. So if you don't have a machine, I encourage you to get one, join our family. Not only do we have fun, but we're in a position to help other people. It might not be something severe as cancer. It could be financial, it could be spiritual. We're a family united, make a change and difference in this world. All you need to do is, there he is. So I'm gonna leave a copy of my story up here. If you don't have a copy, feel free to take one. Thank you guys. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and Happy Thanksgiving coming up.
Hey, Bill Powers, give him a round of applause. Hey, it's 9:10. We're gonna get you out of here.